Welcome to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, coming to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Call us today at 843-957-3872.
The holidays are almost here, so it's time to get your financial picture wrapped up so you can have a great Christmas and a happy new year. Reach out to me at coachwestc@gmail.com to get some financial coaching.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872. Hey guys, don't forget we go live every Saturday at 11 a.m. on 94.5 as well as 106.7, or you can stream us live at talkradiomb.com.
This segment brought to you by Eisenhower Dental. Reach out to them at 843-234-3110.
Who wants to see the triptych?
What? Dad, we're playing.
Okay, shut off the video games. Come on, Russ. Shut it off. I know you'll enjoy this. I've worked out the whole trip on the computer so we get the maximum amount of fun time at Wally World without missing any of the good stuff.
That's the European vacation.
Come on, Russ.
That's the original one.
Oh, that's right. That's
You'll
right.
enjoy this. I've worked out the whole trip on the computer. Russ, shut it off. I know you'll enjoy this. I've worked out the whole trip on the computer so we get the maximum amount of fun time at Wally World without missing any of the good stuff along the way. Go. There's us, and there's Wally World. Now let's just take a look at day one, shall we? Honey, come on in. We're going to do day one.
Ready to do some traveling?
Yep.
Okay, now there's the family truckster as we leave Chicago.
I don't think this is how you travel, though, is it?
No. I love those movies, though. The National Lampoon's movies are classics. Yeah, like I was saying before we got on air, yeah, they're doing a re-release just in the Conway Theater. I've never
Christmas
been to that
Vacation,
Conway,
right?
the Christmas Vacation one, and me and my mom and Bryn, and I think my stepdad might go too. Like, it's like mid-December. And it's
cool.
like they're just playing it for a couple days in theaters.
Yeah.
I was like, this would be a cool one to just say I saw in theaters.
Exactly, yeah.
Because the movie just cracks me up. So I love all those. So anyway.
So where you heading over the holidays?
So actually, next weekend, I will be in Charlotte for the Panthers-Cowboys game. We're not having much of a season.
What is the Panthers record?
About as bad as the Cowboys. I think they've only won like 3 games. It's like 3-8 or something.
Are they in the same? They're not in the same division.
No, they're not in the same division.
Okay.
But they're both NFC teams, but not the same conference, not the same division.
Is it New Orleans?
They're in that
Tampa
division.
Bay,
They're in that
Carolina.
Yeah, it's Tampa Bay, Carolina, New Orleans, and
one other one.
Atlanta. Maybe. I don't think so. I think they're AFC.
No, Falcons are in it. NFC.
Oh, that's right. They are NFC, but I don't know if they're in that one or not.
Because the other one's
I think they
Dallas,
do play them 2 times a year. It's
Dallas, Washington, Philadelphia, and
New York Giants.
New York Giants. That one's. Why is Dallas? Well, I know why Dallas is there, because when they juggled everything, they had to keep those Washington, New York
together. Yeah. It's all it was all a scheme. But yes, I'll be there, and then the day after Christmas, I'm going up, and I booked this trip way before all this happened, but about 6 months ago, I booked a trip to the mountains to Asheville and the Biltmore and all this, and then obviously everything happened in North Carolina with that flooding. So I'm going to go up there and hopefully, throw a little bit of money back into the local economy and try to have a good time and just kind of see what's going on up there.
You said you talked to your Airbnb and this open bed together.
Yeah, where I'm staying is about 40 minutes outside of Asheville, 35 minutes or so outside of Asheville. So it's she said one of the main roads going into the mountain is still closed down, but there's other roads that go up there. So she said it might take you a little bit longer to get to the Airbnb, but you can access it. So
cool.
And the power's back on and everything. View's gorgeous. I'll have to send you a couple photos from the view, but the mountains for me is just like a getaway. I turn the phone off. I don't get good service. I just hang out there. I go around Asheville a little bit, but it just kind of is like a recharge for me, just to get away. It's not like a trip where I'm going to go all kinds of places. It's just a getaway.
Do you always go in the same area?
Not always. I've gone to the mountains of Tennessee. I've gone to the Asheville area, the Maggie Valley area. I've gone to different parts. There's some other areas I've heard of, I think even in Georgia or somewhere else. like in that general area that they said is really nice. But I've only gone to North Carolina and Tennessee as far as the mountains are concerned.
The Appalachians go all the way. I know Georgia, but do they reach Florida, or is it?
I don't know. I think they stop at Georgia, but I've heard there's an area in Georgia that's really nice that I haven't been to, and that are still in the mountains. But I don't know where that's at. But yeah, so I'll be in Asheville. I haven't been to Asheville in years. The last couple of times I've been in like the outside of Pigeon Forge area, and then I used to stay in Maggie Valley a lot when I was going with my family. That's a nice area too. It's kind of laid back, but yeah. So we'll see what the local economy is looking like. I hope, I know it's still suffering over there. So if I can go help a couple local businesses throw a little money around and
Alabama.
Be nice to people. And
barely touches Alabama.
Okay.
Barely touches Alabama. I knew it was
Okay.
one of the states. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah. So you got a big trip coming up.
Yes, going to Hobbiton.
Well, nobody's going to know where that's at. So tell them.
Everybody knows what Hobbiton
Do
is.
they?
Most people,
Really?
Most of us really love the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings and know what Hobbiton is.
Is that where the Hobbit came from?
Yeah, that's what Hobbit's. It's Hobbiton. That's.
I didn't catch the reference.
So
I did.
okay.
So I didn't watch
The
the Lord of
other
the
time-
Rings,
the other
but I did read the Hobbit. I read the.
You
Hobbit.
read the Hobbit.
I read the
Okay.
Hobbit.
He lived in Hobbiton too.
Okay. The Hobbit was a great book because I read it as a kid, and there's a lot of adventure going on in the Hobbit.
Just like
Yeah, I
Lord of the
loved it.
Rings.
I don't know. Is there?
There's more in Lord of the Rings.
See, I think I'd rather read the books, and I'd enjoy them more.
Oh, I think you would too. Yeah, the books are. Everybody have
But
to.
they're-
As great as the movies were, because the guy was fanatical about making them.
Yeah.
I mean, literally down to the detail of they're always moving from left to right in a scene. They never go the other way. 'Cause
Right.
They're on a journey.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
They
Yeah,
had
I
a
remember you talking
model.
about this.
They had a model of this one city outside of where the bad guy was. I know you don't know the references, so I'll just
the
be
bad
less
guy.
descriptive. They made a model of the front of the city, but he wanted the back of the city made just as detailed, even though it never showed
Yeah.
up on camera.
Yeah.
That to me, that's kind of stupid.
That is,
but
yeah, it's cool though. I mean, it's cool.
but-
I mean, I like
so he
the,
was really-
the detail. Yeah,
really detailed.
I can
on it, but,
respect that.
Most of it was filmed in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
I've got a son living in New Zealand, so we're flying over. That's the one part I'm dreading. 13 and a half hours out of LAX.
Oh, I'd be so miserable on the flight. I'd be so annoyed
I was picking seats, and I just kind of hovered over the first class
just
seats.
to see.
Good gracious.
What are they like? $5,000
I think they started it with about $7,000 to $10,000
per seat.
per seat.
I like to try to fly first class when I can. Usually, if I book, and if I book a flight early enough in advance, usually I can upgrade for like a couple $100 per ticket. And if I can do that, sometimes I'll splurge.
Yeah.
But paying $5,000 to $7,000, $8,000 for that's
You actually get a bed, though. I
robbery.
mean, you literally.
I mean, that's awesome.
But it's not worth that much.
No. Even on a 13-hour flight, I mean, that's a lot of money
That's
per
a
hour.
lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to that, and I'm hoping we fly out on a Monday, late 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I'm worried, as we talk about traveling, I hate traveling in the evening because any delays have already happened, and it's kind of pushed everything back.
Yeah.
It kind of worked out to my advantage this time, though. We actually had 4 flights per leg per trip, and something happened. I booked in July. Something happened in September, late September, and one of my flights got pushed back, so I was going to miss my connecting flight in LAX. So they let me rebook for free, and I got rid of a leg.
Nice.
So
There
I'm
you
going
go.
from here to Atlanta to LAX to Auckland.
Oh, wow.
So we'll go to Auckland.
And that's the capital?
That's the capital. And we'll get there 3 or 4 days before summer. We'll be in the springtime, and we'll be there for summer.
Oh, that's right. It's a whole different season.
Oh,
over
yeah,
there.
it definitely is. They said make sure you bring your shorts and all because we're going to the summer.
What was I going to ask you? Shout out Bilbo Baggins over there in
Bilbo.
Hobbiton, by the
Yeah.
way. But what was I going to ask you? Oh, what time is it in the time there? Is it like tomorrow?
Yes, it's tomorrow there now.
So it's like
It's
like noon
18
tomorrow or
hours
something.
ahead of us. So, and that's-
12 would be 5 a.m.
I can tell you right off here. I got them set up so I can see. Oop,
11 a.m. I bet it's 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
I bet.
Let's see.
If my math's right, it's 11 a.m.
I've got it set on my phone. I got all
Yeah,
because
yeah.
all my kids live everywhere.
Right,
so I
right.
always
You
got
have
to figure
to
out
see
what
the
time they're there.
time zones. Yeah, yeah. So if it's 18 hours, it's at 5 p.m. on the dot here right now, East Coast time. So if they're 18 hours ahead, I believe that puts us at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
You're right. 11 a.m.
Look at
18
that.
hours ahead.
And he can do math.
He can do math. So
That's
it's,
crazy though. Wow, the jet lag coming off of that.
Gracious.
You're flying
They
into
say it's
you're
coming-
flying
well,
into the future.
Yeah, they say going over there is not bad. Coming back
I
is going to be the
bet.
problem.
Yeah. Going over there,
18
you're
hours.
yeah. I mean, because you're almost going a whole day in advance. So when you get there, it's just like oh, it's kind of the time difference.
Well, I'm leaving on Monday the 16th, and I'm arriving on Wednesday the 18th.
That's weird.
And when I'm coming back, I'm leaving on December 27th, and I'm arriving home on December 27th.
That is so weird. That is so weird. Yeah, that is a huge change.
But we're going to go. Our first trip is to some hot springs and to where they filmed the Hobbit's first place, and it's still set up. And you
Nice.
go eat. We'll go have lunch there and go through the movie set and
That's
everything.
cool.
My son really loved this movie, so he's happy to show it to me.
Yeah.
And then we're going back to Auckland for a night and eat some restaurants there. I guess I could do a review in Auckland.
Yeah,
That'd
you
be
got
pretty
to.
cool,
That'd
yeah.
be cool. You have to do one while you're there. Take the mics.
Got to take the mics.
Take the baby mics.
I actually got a little portable studio. You got me all set up on this stuff now.
Yeah.
And then we're going to head north.
Okay.
To Blue Water. It's kind of
Oh,
odd.
okay,
You head
okay.
south here to go to Caribbean.
Yeah.
I'll be in the South Pacific. My daughter-in-law is actually Polynesian. She's from the island
Oh,
culture.
okay,
So
okay.
it's been
Very
really
nice.
neat to learn about her
Yeah.
culture, and her family, her ancestors were actually on the islands. They
Yeah.
migrated to New Zealand.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about leaving the country is just experiencing other cultures, just like
Yeah,
seeing
so
how
I
they
do too.
live and how they eat and
I wish
everything.
I had
It's
time
so
to do
neat.
more.
I know.
I enjoy being in our country, and I don't know if you ever saw this guy on Instagram or anything, but he's from the UK, and he's always talking down to UK people about talking bad about us. He
Yeah.
says, "You don't understand. No, these Americans don't leave the country because they can go in one state and drive for 12 hours and still be in the same state,
Yeah.
where we go through 7 countries in Europe.
Right.
Drive 12 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
And you really think about our country, that the cultures are so different. It is like being in another country. In fact,
Yeah,
I work
yeah.
with a girl who's from New Jersey. She teaches where I teach at.
That's a different world.
And her dad tells her every time, a lot of times during the year, that you realize you're in a different country down there. So
yeah. That's the truth. I mean, when I've gone to like New York, or when I go to Texas, or when I went out to see my sister in San Diego, or when
Yeah.
I went to Vegas, or
Right.
when I went to Tampa, it's just like different. It's like little different countries within America. It's like we're such a melting pot, and there's so many different cultures and stuff that have been brought here that you go anywhere in the States and it's a little bit different than what
Yeah.
you're used to.
It is.
But traveling out of the country, I think everybody should do that.
Oh, I
as
think
much
so
as
too.
they possibly can. I know it's
I've only
expensive,
been
but-
out of the country a couple of places. This will be my 3rd or 4th country outside. But even then, a couple of them I didn't spend any time in. The
Right.
only one I spent a lot of time in is Nicaragua.
Okay.
And that's the problem, is I love Nicaragua so much. When I get free time,
That's where you want to go.
I want to go there.
Yeah,
because I've got family there. I mean, literally the people there that we've gotten close to. There's three young ladies. I guess they're not much young anymore. I've known them for 20 years. That are kind of like our daughters, adopted daughters.
Yeah.
And so when we get free, we want to go see them. I got a granddaughter down there. Last December, I went to Quinceanera. I got to
That's awesome.
stand
I
in the
love those.
father's place in the Quinceanera.
Oh, wow.
And give, I guess not give my granddaughter away, but
Right.
it's transitioned into womanhood.
Yep.
I got to take the sandals off her feet and put high heel
Oh,
shoes
nice,
on. It
nice.
was really
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. Yeah.
Where have you been out of the country?
So it's all island stuff that I've been to. I want to go to like Europe and stuff. Yeah, but the place I'm going aren't that exciting. I've been to Jamaica. That was my first time out of the country. I went to Jamaica, Montego Bay, whatever. It's fine.
Excuse me? No, that's Montego Bay. Come on.
It's not that.
You don't
great.
like blue water?
I do, but it's nothing. It's not my. It is
Okay,
what
so
it is.
when you go to these places, what do you like to do?
So I went off the resort a couple times, and I went. Well, Jamaica's really dangerous once you leave.
A
the
lot of
resort.
these places
Yeah,
are.
a lot of them
Once
are.
you get out of the resort.
And so I did some excursions. I went like zip lining. I went just riding around. I like to just see the area that it's
Yeah.
like. I just like seeing everything. I like just riding around and seeing everything. I haven't been to any countries where I'm like able to just safely walk around anywhere though. Like I went to Mexico. Where I was staying there, I could go off and do something. I've been to Mexico twice, been to Jamaica. But Jamaica, you got to be really careful. And then, what was the other? I went to Punta Cana.
Okay.
Talk about poor. Leaving you realize what real poverty is when you leave the
Punta Cana, the
Dominican
town?
Republic.
Yeah, okay, DR. Wow. I didn't think that was. I didn't take you to Nicaragua to show you poor.
Wait, listen, I'm talking about like I went off and I was in an excursion. We were going through this like town on a Jeep, and like kids are on the side of the road barefoot, like standing in the mud, like trying to sell you like flowers that they just picked up. I mean, it's just like, it's poor. I'm sure Nicaragua could be worse, but it's poor.
Well, Nicaragua's the second poorest nation in this hemisphere behind
wow.
Haiti. They
Yeah.
used to be the poorest until Haiti had its
Yeah.
earthquake, which is kind of strange because Haiti and DR are on the same island. You realize-
yeah. I didn't go to Haiti.
I don't
I don't think I'd go there.
I actually went to Bahia.
Don't they have a lot of pirates? in Haiti?
There's a
Isn't
lot
that
of
like-
pirates in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I know that sounds
That's
funny,
crazy.
but it really
That's
is.
still
in the
like
Gulf
a
of
thing.
Mexico.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody today about taking a boat to Corn Island, which is an island off of Nicaragua.
Yeah.
In the Western Caribbean.
Yeah.
Untouched. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I said my biggest fear is pirates. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
pirates? What do you mean pirates? And I was like, there's pirates in the Gulf.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is not
it's,
like what people think of, but
No,
it's,
no.
yeah, but
machine guns. I
yeah,
mean,
they just run up on you in
there's
a
no
deck
canyons or
boat with
anything.
machine
Yeah.
guns and shoot you all, take everything you're on, and just and dip out and take your boat probably. But
So I've been to DR too. I went to Bahibe, which is a fishing village.
okay,
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you.
Are you looking to buy a property in North or South Carolina and need financing assistance? Give Motto Mortgage Coastal Pros a call today. We specialize in residential loans in both North and South Carolina and can meet all your residential home loan needs. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
If you like the economics part of the show, then check out my podcast, Econ Sense. You can find it on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts.
You're listening to the Dollars and Cents Radio Show with Jonathan Edmond and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to send us your topics and feedback at dollarscentsgs@gmail.com. This segment is sponsored by Bobby Clary State Farm. Call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
So it's a fishing village. That's
Okay.
why I picked it. We got a.
That's cool.
It was I don't know if it's Verbo.
You're a big fisher? You like to fish a lot?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you do the,
Captain.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
you do all that and the tours and everything.
I do tours and all because I'm not that great fishing. I love fishing, but I'm not
Right.
that good at it.
Okay, fair.
I actually was going to go fishing down there. We went on a snorkeling trip out of Bahibe. Bahibe basically is a village with it's not a lot of tourists there except during the day. These
Okay.
big buses coming from all the resorts. I'm sure you saw the resorts on the island.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
All inclusive. You go there
Yep.
and you're in that little bubbles. What you're talking about? I
Yep.
hate that. I want to meet the people.
Same.
So we're in Bahibe, and it was safe enough to walk around at night. I mean, you still want to be careful, but
Of course.
but people, all these buses would come in, and they have all these. There had to be 1,000 boats there. But when we're talking about boats, we're talking about wood carved boats.
Oh,
and stuff.
wow.
I mean,
Wow,
really
wow.
old type stuff. There was
Yeah.
a few newer stuff there too, but most of it was just basic stuff you see in the Caribbean. The same things I see on Corn Island.
Yeah.
And we spent the day on the water. Now, as much as I love Corn Island, which is an island in the Western Caribbean, I go to out of Nicaragua. It's part of Nicaragua.
Yeah.
The most beautiful water I've ever seen was in the DR.
Okay.
We were
Yeah, it
off
was
the
some beautiful
coast in
water
DR,
right
and I got pictures of it. I'll show them to you. The water was just, I mean, it's crystal clear in both those places, but
Yeah.
the way the sun was and there was a storm off in the distance and the way it was hitting the water, I could live there.
Yeah, it was gorgeous when I was there too. Like I said, I was in right in Punta Cana. Stayed at like the Cap Cana Resort, and I was telling you off air. I went and played a golf course there. It was one of the most beautiful golf. It was like probably the Pebble Beach of the island. I mean, it was gorgeous. Every hole backed up to the water. I mean, they had caddies. Like I would be on like a hole, and I'd be leaving, and they'd have like guys come up and like because I'd hit like a shot out of the sand, and there was sand on the green. They would sweep the green off. So it was just like the most pristine, lush grass.
Wow.
I mean, it was gorgeous. And my girlfriend at the time just rode with me. She didn't care about golf, but the sights were so beautiful that she was just happy to drive the golf cart and just look around because she was like, this place is immaculately beautiful. And I had a great time. I was glad I got to play around a golf while I was up there. What was funny today, earlier this morning, I was like cleaning my house, and I actually found my scorecard in like the yardage book that I kept.
Did you really?
From when I was there. Shot a 83 out there, by the way. I had a good round of golf. Had 3 birdies for my golf
How do you
bands
play
out
golf?
there. I used to be a very avid golfer. I played for my high school team. Didn't play in college because the Coastal Carolinas team was a different animal. I mean, there's some really good golfers that come out of CCU, but I've been playing. I started playing golf when I was a young child. My dad actually had a scholarship to play for what was up in the mountains? What's that one college up in the mountains? Not App State. No, there's another one. There's another one
Western
up there.
Carolina.
Western Carolina. He had a scholarship to play golf for Western Carolina.
Oh, wow.
and he was a really good golfer, and so I just started playing at a young age, and I played all throughout. When I was in middle school, I actually played on the high school team, and then I played in high school. My senior year, I was the #1 seed on the team, and then I've been playing. Now I don't get to play as much now.
Yeah.
And my handicap was I'm probably shooting in the high 80s, low 90s. But at one point, I was shooting in the 70s, easily.
I want to break 100.
Yeah. Well,
I'm I'm literally that bad.
Yeah. If I went out right now and shot 100, I'd still be mad at myself, and I probably haven't played in 8 months.
I think the best. I did shoot 101 one time. I thought sure I was going to break 100 that day.
Yeah.
But I shoot like 120s. I count my success in a day, how many balls I bring back.
There you go. That's always a successful day. Yeah.
I started playing out of college, and the only reason I didn't break my clubs is because I didn't own them. There was somebody else's.
There you go. Yeah, golf.
So when I picked it back up in my 30s, I love being out there, and I learned just not to be frustrated, because it's one of those sports you got to spend time with.
It is, and it's not just like you got to practice. You've got to practice your chipping, just chipping. You got to practice hitting out of the sand. You got to practice hitting out of the woods. You got to practice hit different fades. I mean, there's so much to golf. It's a mental game, but there's so much to it. It's the most difficult sport I've ever tried to play.
So, have you got connections around here? You get us on a golf course?
Oh yeah.
Cheap?
Oh yeah.
Because they're expensive.
They are expensive. Yeah, I can get us on the golf course. It's pretty cheap in a lot of places.
We actually flew into Punta Cana.
Yep, so did I.
And we left there and came all the way, and we were down here.
Okay.
And see if it may not show up on the map. That's it right there.
Got it. Okay.
Because this is one of those resorts down here.
Yep.
But look at that water. Oh, good gracious.
Yeah. Yeah,
Bahia Bay.
Okay, yeah. That looks gorgeous.
So we actually stayed right here.
Okay, very nice. That's awesome. Oh, look at that water. Yeah,
nice.
Even on the map showing up like that.
And so when we got on a boat, and the boat took us, where did we go? All the way out here.
Mm-hmm.
You may come here, because a lot of people from Punta Cana come to this island on a boat.
I might have. Yeah, I might.
But that water I was talking about is right in there.
Yeah.
And those of you on the map, there's a little piece a little island right to the, was that northeast of, the southeast of the
Soana Island.
Yeah, Soana Island. And we actually went on that island for a little while, and they have stuff there to give out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, beautiful country.
Yeah, it is. It is a gorgeous country. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I got to go into La Ramona, because we went to see some friends of ours there. She's from there, and he's ex-military.
Yeah.
And so we were down and spending some time with them, and got to see the behind the scenes. That's what I like. I like know people where we're going.
Yeah.
So you don't see the tourist stuff yet.
Right, you see everything. Yeah, some of the stuff that you're not told about. That's just like the culture of that area. Yeah.
Yeah, she took us off this place in the middle of nowhere up here, away from the water, and it was a restaurant that was open sometimes. She took a chance to see if it was open.
Yeah.
Oh, the food was something else.
Oh, I bet.
That was great.
I bet. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
Where else have you been?
Out of the country, I think that Jamaica, Dominican, Mexico. That's it for out of the country. That's what I say. I got a lot of I need to do a lot of Europe traveling. I've done a fair amount of traveling in the States. I still have a lot I need to do there too.
So you like the mountains? Where else have you gone that you liked?
Other than the politics, San Diego was nice. San Diego was beautiful. Okay. Coronado Island was very pretty. I like Austin, Texas is a cool spot. It's a very cool. It's kind of progressive down there, but I like they have a bunch of cool comedy clubs. There's a lot of cool things to do, just like to hang out and have a good time. A lot of cool people down there. Dallas is not bad. Dallas is a good time. I like Texas in general. San Antonio was good. So there's a lot of good cities in Texas that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I haven't been everywhere in Florida, but I did like Tampa quite a bit. I actually enjoyed Tampa. I had a good time. A good friend that lives down there, and I went and visited him and went to his wedding. And Tampa was really fun. I have a good friend in Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland. It's cold there, very cold in Cleveland. It's a cool city. I enjoy it. I went to a baseball game, an Indians game while I was there.
Okay.
I've been to Detroit. Now that just popped up I went there for a conference. It gets a bad rep. I didn't mind Detroit.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. And if I'd have thought about it while I was there, I forgot how close it was to Canada. There was a bridge I drove right by where I could, and I didn't bring my passport, and I would have went to Canada for a day, but I didn't think about it. Where else have I been? New York City's okay. Vegas is what it is. It's a good time. Nashville is fun. I've been to Nashville. That's a cool area. Tennessee's pretty cool. obviously I've been a lot of places in North Carolina, Charlotte, Raleigh, all them places. I've been there. I'm trying to think of what would be my favorite place I've been to in the States. I'd have to think about it for a minute. But where all? I'm sure you've done a lot more traveling than me.
Probably not. I mean, I didn't travel a lot until I was older. Definitely older than you. In fact, I had not flown on a plane until 2004.
Oh wow!
It was in my late 30s, early 40s.
Oh wow!
I mean, honestly, one reason. This is probably too much information, but I grew up with 2 smokers in my house, and literally, I was not sick, but just allergies. When I moved away from home, my allergies went away. So one reason I never flew was because up until a certain point in the 90s and all, people smoked on planes. And I did not want to be in a capsule.
I don't blame you.
Full of cigarettes.
Yeah, I can't believe that was even allowed at one point. That's crazy. The whole thing with smoking.
So the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I didn't want to be on a plane. The idea of being trapped with somebody smoking was just, it was disgusting to me.
Yeah.
But since then, my first flight was to California. Okay. I went out to a conference. I spent a lot of time in Florida. Obviously, I love the Keys. My wife's got some family on the West Coast. You've never been to the Keys?
I need to go.
Beautiful down there. It's gotten so expensive, though.
I bet.
I mean, the last time I went was about 3 years ago, and I got a hotel for the week for about $800 or $900.
That's not horrible.
No, it wasn't. That same hotel, and it was a hotel like you think of it. It's an old-timey type place. They kept it nice, but it was old-timey.
Right.
I think it was like $2,500 for the week. I mean, it's...
Yeah,
and that
crazy.
was off-season. Yeah,
wow.
Which I learned the hard way the first time I went to the Keys, and we went after Christmas, thinking, it won't be bad here, but that's their own season.
Yeah.
The week after Christmas is the biggest week of the year.
Yeah.
So we went camping. I've been Texas, Austin. I've been to not Austin, but I've been to Houston for a wedding, and I went to my nephew's wedding, and then I went to my son's wedding. He got married in Dallas, Fort Worth area.
Nice. Yep, that's where I was staying when I just went to that Cowboys game recently.
I have never been to New York City though.
Really?
I used to want to go there, but I don't anymore.
It's it's good to go for a couple days, and it's a cheap, quick flight. There's parts of New York City that are really nice. There's really good food there, a lot of stuff to see, but after a couple days, you got to get out of there.
Gotta get out.
I will say one of the nicest cities I've been to recently, Boston. I love Boston. Very historical, a lot of stuff to do there, and it's clean. It's a clean. A lot of these cities, like you go to Atlanta, you go to Charlotte. They're not very. It's Boston is a clean city. I love Boston. I love Boston a lot.
When I went to California, I've been to California 3 or 4 times. I enjoy California. I spent most of my time in south of LA, Los Angeles and Orange County.
Okay.
Beautiful time. But I definitely want to live there.
No. I would never want to live there.
My son lives in Colorado, so the first time I went to Colorado was to see them in Colorado Springs. I enjoyed it
Colorado?
up there. It was beautiful. I don't think I'd want to live there, but
I'm going to. I'll be in Colorado at the end of next year for a concert that Bryn wanted to go to. I bought her that for her birthday. We'll be at Red Rocks. I've never been to. We're going to. That's where the concert's at the Red Rocks venue.
Is it in Denver?
It's just out. It's below Denver, just south of Denver, and I can't think. It's like some random city you've probably never heard of, but it's just below Denver.
Yeah. I've flown in Denver,
but it's like this pretty
twice.
Outdoor venue, and there's like all these just like mountains and rocks around it.
Aurora?
And it's like this. It's to the left of Aurora, I think. It's a small. You'd probably have to really zoom in to get to it. It's just outside of Denver, somewhere over here. But I can't remember the name of it right now. If I saw it pop up, I would know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like 30 minutes outside of Denver, like down here somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it might be this Morrison. I think it's Morrison.
Okay.
Yep. And then Red Rocks might pop up on here somewhere. Maybe not. It's somewhere.
Halfway Rock.
Yeah, it's somewhere over here. But there's a big outdoor concert venue, and it's just like literally outside, and all you see is like mountains and everything behind you, and it's supposed to be this gorgeous venue.
Wow.
So that's where we're going to go. And I've never been to the Denver, and so that would be cool to see. I've never been to Colorado.
We flew in Denver twice. I think both times we've been out there, we flew into Denver and drove south to Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
We've been up to Pikes Peak.
Okay.
Went hiking up around somewhere up on Pikes Peak. And there's a lot of nice things down there.
Yeah.
So we enjoy that. We're going to go back here soon.
There you go.
After we see the one in New Zealand, our next trip probably be to Colorado.
Right. Yep.
My other one lives right here in Columbia. We're actually going to the lights Sunday night at the zoo with them. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a zombie Monday morning coming back to go to work, but I don't have to lecture.
Yeah, there you go. That's
everywhere.
good. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
But probably my favorite places in the United States have to do with blue water. And again, I'm a
Yeah, you
water
love
guy.
the water. Yeah,
I love the water.
Yeah.
But it's other places I want to see. I'd love to see. I'd love to see Alaska.
I do. I want to go to Alaska so bad.
I've always used to want to see Hawaii, but just the prices and all of them have gone through. the roof.
Yeah. I definitely still
And
want to go to
again,
Hawaii.
how long is it? 10 hours?
It's a long flight. I definitely want to go to Alaska though. I've heard the Alaskan cruises are pretty cool. I'm not a big cruise guy.
Yeah.
But I've heard the Alaskan cruises are pretty
I've
cool.
never been on a cruise.
I haven't either. That's why I was going to say I'm not a big cruise guy. I haven't, feel like I haven't missed out on anything.
I've been to Wisconsin. My wife's from Wisconsin.
been to
Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana.
Yep.
I've been through. I actually drove through the middle of Chicago
Oh wow!
one weekend.
Okay. I
Wasn't
haven't.
that bad. And obviously all the states down here I've been through, and
Yeah.
there's still a lot of places I like to go there.
Yeah, I did go to. Oh man, where was I about to tell you? I had gone. Oh no! Oh, I went to New Orleans. I had my girlfriend at the time. She was a college professor at LSU, and she had got offered a job at UNC Pembroke, which I know is a huge change, but it was actually a pay raise. And
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because she was like lower like at these big colleges. If you're not like a published professor, like they don't pay. You have to like be published, and you know the gig. And so they actually offered her more at UNC, and her family was here, and she was living down there by herself. And we were pretty serious at the time. Didn't pan out, but so here we are. But now she's at Coastal, and she's doing great, and she loves it there. So she's at Coastal full time English professor. So shout out to her. She's doing great. And but yeah, I went to New Orleans. I was helping her move back. I did not know that was the week of Mardi Gras. She was obviously in LSU's not in New Orleans, but it wasn't far. It's in Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
So we left Baton Rouge, went to New Orleans. When we got there, I was like, "Why is everybody?" And it was like in February, and she was like, "Oh, it's Mardi Gras week," and I was like, "Oh, well, this is going to be an interesting couple days." And we stayed 2 days in New Orleans. I got to experience Mardi Gras. Talk about a party and just like a crazy atmosphere. It was a little wild, but it was like cold. It was like a weird Mardi Gras where it was like kind of cold and rainy.
Easter was only that year, probably.
Yeah, so it wasn't like it wasn't too crazy, but there was like a lot of good food there. I mean, the city's kind of dirty. New Orleans city's kind of dirty, but it's very historical.
Barber Street now spells pretty much like you're right.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was cool to see one time. I don't think I'd ever go back to New Orleans, but I did enjoy that. I had a good time. I'd say Boston is probably my favorite like city that I've been to, though. It's very historical. I mean, I went in this one library, and I was like, I couldn't believe like just the way the library looked, and it had like it was just like all the stuff on the wall, like carved into the wall. I mean, it was just this gorgeous library, and then you like walk in, and there's like all these people, just like the typical like big room where everybody's sitting at the desk with like the little green lamps and like studying and doing. I was like, dude, if I lived here, I'd be at this library all the time, sending emails and stuff. It was such a cool and just a very historical town. Food was great, people were great. But yeah, there's a lot of traveling I still want to do in the States and definitely abroad. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to England. I want to go to the mother country, England and Scotland. I'm English and Scottish. I need to go see those two countries, hit Ireland while I'm there. I got to do all that. I have not gone to Europe yet, and I'm upset that I haven't.
I want to go to Europe, and we actually were scheduled to go 2018.
In COVID.
No, it was for COVID. We had planned it with my sister-in-law and her husband.
Yep.
And she got pregnant. So we were just in the beginning stages of planning it, and we had to stop planning. And then since then, obviously the invasions happened, and I mean, a lot of Europe is not what it used to be.
I know. Yeah, I had a trip planned to Italy before, and I had it all like planned out how we were going to travel to like around it on the trains and everything, and then COVID hit. And I just haven't had the time to go back and want to.
On a side note of that, I noticed in England, I just saw a post when we're going with other stuff on X that Muhammad was the #1 baby name in London, outseating Noah for the first time or something like that.
Wow.
Tells you what's going on in London.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, in England.
Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, so I guess maybe I should be careful booking my trip to England.
My son, who lives in New Zealand, he loves the Asian culture, so he's been to Japan, he's been to Indonesia.
Yep. I would do that too. I love the Asian culture too.
I'd love to. If I had the money and the time, there's a lot I'd like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much to see.
To make $1 million is $597 million. Maybe we need to.
Right. I know, right? Yeah, seriously. I'd travel all over the place if I win the lottery. You guys would never see me again. We'd be doing a podcast live, and I'd be in a different city every day.
I got a feeling we wouldn't be doing a podcast.
Probably not at that point. And I'd be like, well, it's been real, guys. I hope you enjoyed our 40 followers. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm out.
I've hit the jackpot, and life has changed.
Yeah, life has changed as of right now.
So if you had to pick the one place you want to go right now, if you had to say this is the place I'm going to get to,
I still have a sore spot that I didn't make it to Italy. I think I really want to go to Italy and see the coast of Italy. I'd go see Rome. I know that's more like touristy stuff, but I still want to see it, and just like all the different parts of Venice, I want to see all of that. So Italy, and then I think like England, Scotland, Ireland, kind of together, kind of come in next for me. That area of Europe right there. Greece, I heard, is pretty. I'd probably want to do that too. I would like to make my way to South America at some point. But I want to get the couple European places off my bucket list first, and because I think it's probably a lot cheaper to go to South America.
Definitely so.
So I feel like I could make those happen.
But you got to be careful too.
You got to be careful. Yeah.
And that necesito hablar español.
Yeah, it would. That would definitely help.
That would help a lot.
That would definitely help a lot.
I wish my Spanish was better so I could do it, because it
I
makes
wish
life a lot easier.
That's my one regret about college and being in school, is that I didn't take Spanish class more serious.
I don't think it would help you, honestly. I've got 5 years of Spanish.
Yeah, I have like 4.
I have 2, 3 in school. Maybe I got 4, 2 or 3 in high school, and then 2 semesters of even. No, it was 3 semesters of Spanish, and I still can't speak it.
Yeah, I know like some certain words. I know how to conjugate the different verbs and everything, but I just don't.
I do that at all.
Yeah, some of it sticks with me, but until you're like just immersed in it, it's really hard to learn a language.
That's what you got. Yeah, I just want to be immersed in it and just learn it.
You can't just like learn it and then all right. Let's say I go learn it and I'm using Rocket Spanish or one of these sites to learn it. It's like if you're not using it every day, you're still never going to.
There's a lady that works in our cleaning our hallway where I'm at work, and she speaks Spanish to me. She tries to help me.
Yeah.
She's from the Dominican Republic too.
Mm.
And then, of course, when I'm in Nicaragua, I get better when I'm in Nicaragua because you're immersed in it. But I'm not there long enough to actually learn it.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the people I meet that are like Hispanic, or like when I go to another country, I remember there was a lady checking us out when we were leaving the resort in the Dominican, and she had lived in France and could speak fluent French. She could speak English perfectly, Spanish, and pretty sure she could speak Russian too. And I'm like, us as Americans are so lazy.
One of my daughters from Nicaragua. Like I said, I have 3 down there that we consider our daughters. One lives on an island called Ometepe.
Mm-hmm.
She's married, no children. I've got another one that lives in Rivas, right off the island, and she's got 3 kids. But both of them they're very poor. In fact, I'm raising money right now to try to. The one who lives in Rivas lives in a 1-room house.
Oh wow!
We just raised enough money to put a bathroom on the back for them, so they've got a nice bathroom finally. Yeah. But there's 3 kids, and the parents, they all live in 1 room.
Crazy.
So we're trying to raise enough money to build a house. I say raise money. Literally, if I could raise, I think it's like $6,000.
Yeah.
They could have a 3-room house with a bathroom and a kitchen. They don't have a kitchen. So I mean, what, $6,000 to us is nothing.
Yeah, right.
If I could just raise that amount of money, they could have a house.
Right.
Because he's a mason.
Oh, okay.
So he can build his own stuff.
Build it, yeah.
But it's just hard to get money. But the one that I had lived in Managua, she was a translator for me.
Yeah.
Talking about languages. When I met her, she spoke obviously Spanish, fluent French, fluent English.
Yep.
A little bit of Portuguese. She was learning Chinese. Now she left Managua because of political unrest. I don't know if you know what happened in 2018. There was a lot of riots, and
oh wow,
the president killed a lot of people. It's really ugly. Anyway, she fled to Spain, and now she lives in Spain.
Oh wow.
She lives near I can't remember the name, which one it is. One of the major cities. I always forget the name of it though.
Yeah.
Obviously not Madrid, Seville.
Okay. Yeah.
So she wants me to come there. Now, I'd like to. I want to visit
cool.
Europe too.
Yeah,
but Spain is not on top of my list. Italy, obviously.
Right.
UK.
Yep.
But I guess I'll have to go to Seville because I've got somebody there that can take me around.
Yeah. Spain would be awesome to see. I would totally be happy going to Spain.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
We can just find how to make enough money and you can take off.
I know.
Because you got to be here to sell houses.
I know. Yeah, I can't remotely sell homes. Got to get this podcast going. I could just podcast and make money in another country.
There you go. Come on, guys. Get us going.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Share our link, share everything.
Love to travel and
let us know you like us.
Donate.
Give us some feedback.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to donate.
No, you don't have to donate. We'll just get sponsors. Just keep listening. Tell us what you want to hear.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Well,
Anything else you want to add to it?
I think that's a good little travel list there.
Yeah,
I think
that
I
is.
think that was probably ran about 40 minutes. So
Yeah, about 40 minutes, and it
Yeah.
was so much better than talking about corruption.
yes, yeah. Talking about travel makes me happy. It makes me excited. Gives me something to look forward to
Exactly.
and want
Yep.
to do. Talking about our government trying to end us as a country as we know it is not exciting
Yes,
to me.
that's very
So
sad.
anyway, I guess we'll wrap up here on a good note.
Sounds good
and
to me.
we'll see you guys
See
next
y'all
time.
next week.
Absolutely. When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit BobbyClary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right. Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to send us your topics and give us feedback at dollarscentsgs@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and X at dollarscentsgs. You can follow us on Facebook at Dollars and Cents. Listen to us on the podcast format at Dollars and Cents Podcast, and you can also find us on YouTube at the Dollars and Cents Podcast. Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
The holidays are almost here, so it's time to get your financial picture wrapped up so you can have a great Christmas and a happy new year. Reach out to me at coachwestc@gmail.com to get some financial coaching.